Body bags, where horror lies.
Hello and welcome to Body Bags. My name is James and I am your Sunday night reviewer. And this evening I decided to take a look at some 15th century horror and kind of look at the balance between the two, as we've been doing all week. So I went with Eggers' The Witch, based in America. And then it is the director. Who's the director of this one? Lucas Fagerfeld. I think this was his first movie. Pretty good for a first movie. And this is the European-based Hagazussa. Maybe Austria, Switzerland, or somewhere. It's based like that. Anyway, we'll take a look at this one. I kind of put these two together, although they're kind of like different themes. This is like witchcraft and this is religion. It's two very prominent things during the 15th century, and the style of filmmaking and how it's done and the bleakness. They kind of owe so much to each other, and they kind of follow and merge and just go together so well, these two movies. If you're wanting something with a bit of a laugh, I would not recommend these. But anyway, we'll look at Eggers' The Witch to start with. So this is the one. So we're looking at witchcraft. Anya Taylor-Joy, for a start, is fantastic in this, but all the cast are very, very good. There's recognisable faces with the parents in this, but she is the standout, Anya Taylor-Joy here. I think this would be maybe her big breakout movie, or that really kind of started to get her noticed. But we follow her family, and they've kind of been ostracised from their kind of religious circle. There's been some sort of disagreement, and they've left and to start a new home somewhere, and it's on the edge of this forest. And so we have the parents, the eldest daughter, then a brother and two twins, and there's a new baby that's just come, and we're actually with Anya Taylor-Joy and the baby, and she's playing peekaboo. And the baby just disappears, and it alludes to and kind of confesses through the movie that she's been taken by a witch and unfortunately killed for a potion. Obviously this isn't a great thing for the family at all. They're struggling to deal with this horrific kind of situation. So we have the brother. He goes hunting with the dad, and he's asking like questions. It's like, she wasn't baptized, the baby, so soul roam the earth for eternity. He's like, will she be able to get to heaven? So they're discussing that, and there's different things, like he's confessing, like there's this silver cup that's in the family. It's his wife's, and it's one thing of value that he had to sell it for, like ammunition for hunting and stuff like that. Anyway, it's like this one morning the boy is going to check on some traps, and Anya Taylor-Joy, the sister, goes with him, and she falls off the horse. She kind of gets knocked out, and the brother, the dog goes with him, and like he's kind of wandering around lost, and he comes across the dog, and it's been gutted basically, and he sees this beautiful woman who is in fact our witch, and she bewitches him. So he goes missing, and so the mum is, I think it's Catherine, the mum, she starts to get really heavy on Anya Taylor-Joy. Thomasin is, I think, her character's name. And yeah, she's starting to like blame everything on her. But Caleb, the boy, comes home, and he's kind of is really ill and is a mess, and there's this part the twins are starting to act up, going all crazy, and he professes his love for Christ in this joyful overspill of love, and then dies quite sadly. And then the twins are like talking to Black Phillip, which is the goat in this movie, and then all shit's going crazy. Yeah, it's what was it? I think that they get locked into the goat hut, and the goats, they wake up and the witch is feeding off blood from the goat, and the goat starts going crazy, attacking the twins and that, and the dad comes out, and the dad gets gored and killed by this goat, and then the mum just goes a bit crazy, and Thomasin, so Anya Taylor-Joy, kills her mum in self-defense, and she's so upset by this. But then she starts talking to Black Phillip, and Black Phillip answers her, and he asks if she will like to live deliciously. So of opulent wealth, and she goes down that route, and she follows this mysterious black figure, takes all her clothes off and finds this coven of witches, and that's where we get to with The Witch. Very, very good movie. And then we'll jump across to this kind of different one. So this is a little bit different from the family that it's to. It's like a mother and a daughter. And it's split up into 4 segments, this. Like their names, like blood and different things. Sorry, I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, so the mum figure out she has the bubonic plague and kind of makes her a bit crazy, and a young daughter is looking after her all on her own, and she abuses the daughter because she's just going nuts, and it's pretty horrible how like the child is having to deal with all of this. And then she actually finds the mum. The mum went outside, and then she's this child all alone because the mum dies. But then we go to the next scene, the next stage of the film, and it's there's a couple of people in the town that like are taking pity on her, and like saying that she needs to be like she should have faith during these kind of these times. I think it's like 15 years or something after the fact of the first stage of the movie. They hand her this skull. It's the paint. It's decorated skull that was her mother's skull. And she kind of plants it in the house and decorates it and stuff like that. And it's a bit strange. And then one of the women in the town who befriends her, she actually sets it up. So she's explaining about the non-believers and what happens with them and stuff like that. And she actually organised that she gets raped, bizarrely. And then we kind of cut to the next sequence, and she has a child, and it's like the struggles that she's on her own with this child, and she's not getting a lot of help at all from the townsfolk and that, and she has all of her goats kind of murdered. So what she does, she kind of takes revenge and gets this kind of diseased rat and kind of puts it in the water, the drinking water for the village. And then she goes down at some point, and there's all this death there because everyone's drinking this diseased water. And then she eats a mushroom, and it sends her kind of really bad trip, and she's hallucinating. It's a horrible scene, actually. Like, she's carrying her baby, and she just walks into this water and just lets the baby go. It's a horrible scene to see. She's just hallucinating. She has no real idea what's going on. And then obviously the baby dies, and with the 4th scene, it's like we find the baby, it's with her, and she realises what she's done, and she's just consumed by grief, and then she starts tripping and hallucinating, and she puts the baby in the soup. eating it, and then she's throwing up, and yeah, eventually I'm like, how does it, I think she like, yeah, she eventually dies, and it's like, this is what I mean, these films are not exactly joyful to watch, but they are so well put together, and they are so immersive within that period of time that it's just, everything is so well put together. And to me, the companionship of these two goes so well. It's like, we have a difference of story and a difference of setup with a family, but you have the same suffering, you have the same heartache that you have, that these people go through, and it's like there's different circumstance what causes this, but beautifully told with these two films. I highly recommend them, and I need to pick up that second sight 4K of this. I'm still rocking the DVD, but this is the Doppelganger Blu-ray of the Hagazussa, and Arrow has a release of this one as well. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that review. Wasn't the lightly go happy kind of fun review, but very recommend watching those two films. Anyway guys, I will catch you next week. Thank you. Good night.